Ladies and gentlemen, today's video I'm gonna give you guys the top 5 fastest time to kill weapons here in Battlefield 6. I'm gonna recommend the 5 best time to kill weapons to use right now here in Season 1. And if any of these loadouts did help you out, make sure all you do is clicking that like button. It helps out the video and it helps out the channel by pushing the algorithm. Now let's dive right into the setups for them. Our first gun on the list we have is the Accord Assault Rifle. Little to no recoil, especially with this build. Fast ADS speed. Time to kill is pretty good on it. So let's dive right into the setup for this weapon. Starting off with the muzzle attachment, I'm going to be using is the long suppressor. I feel like this is one of the best suppressors for the assault rifle category, and especially for the Accord itself, because it reduces your recoil for building up. It actually improves your recoil recovery at range if you just keep shooting with this over time, and by far it keeps you hitting off the radar. By far one of the best ones to try to use. Now if you actually don't have this unlocked, which my core level is 42 as of right now, you could probably substitute this out for a standard one, but I highly recommend it. It's going to be the long suppressor for this one. For the barrel attachment I'm going to be using is the heavy barrel, which is the 415mm prototype. This is by far one of the best barrels that you need to unlock. I don't know exactly which level you unlock this. You might unlock this like in an early stage for this one. But this actually helps out with the improves your accuracy at range, and it helps out with the bullet velocity as well. So use this for the barrel attachment. For the underbarrel, there are a lot of underbarrels that I would recommend to use, but for this choice, I'm going to talk about the slim angle because this actually reduces your recoil as well, helps out with the weapon draw speed, and actually helps out with your aim it down sight speed as well. A lot of people will probably maybe tell you use is either a stubby or another vertical, but you also got to worry about your point system and of course some of the cons that comes down for these underbarrels, because they helps out with a lot of the recoil, but it takes away a lot of your aim it down sight speed, and you don't want to feel like you're stuck in mud or feel like if an enemy comes up to you, they might have a better class up to you because of your fast aim and down sight speed that you don't have on your weapon. So this is going to be the best underbarrel for this weapon. For the magazine attachment I'm going to be using is the 36 magazine. Now of course there are some other magazines that you obviously can use, but you also got to worry about your point system as well. Now if you actually want to maybe substitute out is either the underbarrel or the suppressor, you can maybe rock on as like a 40 round magazine, but of course it costs over 25 points, so you got to remember that all the time. For the ammunition I'm going to be rocking is the polymer case. The polymer case is by far I believe one of the best ammunition for the assault rifles. Now if you actually want to rock as either the FMJ, you obviously can, and if you want to rock as, you can maybe swap out as an underbarrel, you can maybe swap out your suppressor, put on a right accessory, optic, whatever you guys actually want to. But with the polymer case, it actually improves your aim and down sight speed and movement speed for any weapon in general. It doesn't matter if it's a LMG, assault rifle, this is going to be the best ammunition. And of course for our final attachment for our scope, I'm actually using is the Roam 1.75. There are a lot of different scopes that you can use in the game, but I feel like this is one of the best 1.75 time scopes for this assault rifle. Now of course I will always recommend is either the mini flex for more of like a close range battle, but you also got to remember that some of the people, especially if you're playing either Battle Royale or Conquest or Breakthrough, like to set at a far advantage, and a mini flex is not going to be the best choice. So if you want to bump this up from maybe like a 1.75 to either 3 times or 2 times scope, it's all up to you. Our second gun on the list is the M4A1 Carbine. This is a good carbine that a lot of people want to recommend for you, and you guys can see good for its damage. Accuracy is actually good at medium range. Now if you build it the correct way, you can actually make this into one of the fastest time to kill weapons to use right now. And if you guys need a build for it, I got you guys right now. Starting off with the muzzle attachment I'm using is the standard suppressor. Now of course you actually see I have a lot of the other suppressors like kind of like grayed off because I don't have it all the way ranked up. My M4A1 is at level 28. If you obviously of course have it at maybe level 40, 30, or even have it at the level I'm having at, the standard suppressor is more of like your go-to suppressor as of right now. If you have it at level 50 or ranked all the way up, you can obviously use the long suppressor or the CQB. The lighter suppressor is not really a recommended suppressor that a lot of people would use for it. So these are going to be the other 2 best options that I would probably use. For like a starter go-to, the standard suppressor is going to be it. For the barrel attachment I'm using is the extended barrel, which is the 14.5 Carbine. It actually increases your projectile velocity at range, helps out with your aim and down sight speed as well. One of the best barrels for the M4. For the underbarrel attachment, I actually try to look over a lot of these underbarrels to see which one is going to be the best choice for me, and I feel like the classic vertical is the best one. Now you can obviously see they actually take away a lot of your precision and your control as well. But the only thing that I at least say about the vertical one is, especially the classic vertical, it reduces a lot of your recoil but the cost about this is it's just your aiming down sight speed while moving. If you don't care about that, so I feel like this is one of the best underbarrels to use right now for this weapon. For the magazine attachment, I'm actually going to be using is the 30 round fast mag. Like I said, I don't have this all the way ranked up. 30 round fast mag is going to be the best choice for this weapon. You don't need a 36, you don't need a 40 or a 40 round fast mag. As you guys can see, it doesn't take away a lot of your aiming down sight speed, but the fast mag is going to be the best choice for this weapon. So for the ammunition I'm going to be using is the polymer case. As I said before, for the assault rifle, especially for the cord, it actually gives you a lot of aiming down sight speed and movement speed as well. By far one of the best ammunition for the M4. And of course for the ergonomic I'm going to be using is the improved mag catch, which actually slightly improves your reload speed. For the iron sights, of course I'm going to be rocking for the M4. There's not necessarily no point of using a scope attachment for the M4. I feel like the iron sights is clean to me. I don't know. Y'all let me know down in the comment section below. Do y'all like the iron sights for the M4 or not? But for me, for this case, I'm going to be rocking is the basic iron sight. Our third weapon on the list we have is the KV9, or known as the Vector. Now, you guys can see, this is by far one of the fastest fire rate weapons to use right now in Battlefield 6. It has over 1,000 fire rate. The gun kill fast in either multiplayer or either Redsec. Especially if you guys need a really good build for this, I got you guys right now. Starting off with our scope attachment, I actually like the iron sights for this weapon. I feel like this is a really good choice for this Vector, or the KV9. I don't like the name for the weapon. I feel like the Vector is just the best name for this one. It makes sense. If you actually want to use a scope attachment, you obviously got to replace some of the attachments I'm going to explain later in this video. For the ammunition I'm going to be rocking is the FMJ. It's no point of hollow points or frangible because the FMJ, it kills exactly the same. It kills fast with this weapon. You don't need any of the other ammunition for this weapon. It takes away a lot of your point system as well. For the magazine, I know a lot of you guys gonna have a lot of concern about this, comments, whatever in the comment section. But listen, man, the 27 round is the biggest on this weapon. But of course, it takes 45 points to use for this weapon. And like I said, you gotta worry about your point system here in Battlefield 6. If they actually was to bump up the point system to maybe it's obviously like 100 to maybe like 150, would that actually make a difference? Y'all let me know down in the comment section below. Should they increase the point system or at least tone down a lot of the attachment point system here in the game? I feel like maybe 100 is good. I just feel like the point system, they need to tone it down just a tad bit. For the underbarrel attachment I'm going to be using is the rib stubby. I feel like this is the only good underbarrel to use for this weapon because it reduces a lot of your recoil but helps out with the aiming down sight speed as well for this one. And you guys can see my millisecond for this is a 133. That's really good for this weapon, especially for how like it has good mobility, good damage, but for the magazine size you need a fast aiming down sight time for this weapon as well. For the barrel attachment, I'm going to be using this the 6.5 extended barrel, which actually helps out with the bullet velocity at range and helps out with the aiming down sight speed as well. For the suppressor attachment, I'm going to be using is the standard suppressor. Now, like I said before, if you are going to use it as an SMG, maybe try to use the CQB, which I haven't unlocked, but you also got to remember about, of course, your point system. Want to swap any of the other attachments out? That's all up to you. For our fourth weapon we have is the DSR LMG. This is a very slept on LMG that a lot of people actually want to recommend because it looks like an AR, right? Like it does. You can't even tell if this was an LMG, but this is an actual LMG. Aiming down sight is pretty good. You might need to tap the fire rate at range where it comes down to it, but you guys can see up close, medium, and somewhat of long range for 35 meters. It looks pretty good. So now I'm gonna give you guys what I believe is the best setup for it. For the muzzle attachment, I'm using is the standard suppressor. This is more of like a starter build as well, just like how we said for the M4. This is like a starter build to help you guys out, just to try to find what the best attachment to use as a beginner build as of right now. Of course, if you actually want to try to use is like another suppressor, if you have the gun ranked up to maybe it's either 30 or 40, maybe it's obviously like a long suppressor, especially for this LMG, I would recommend this one as well. For the barrel attachment I'm using is the extended barrel and not the heavy extended, which a lot of you guys probably wonder, why not? Well, of course, if you guys, as you can see, of course, it gives you a little bit more precision. It takes away some of your mobility, but your aiming down sight speed goes from either a 2.50 millisecond to a 300. That's 50 that you're missing out on for aiming down sight speed. And you guys can see when I equipped it, look. Now, a lot of you guys probably might not notice it, but it's a little slow compared to if you was to put on this one right here. Like, you guys can see on how fast that looks. Like, of course, like, the weapon draw might not look as fast as it is, but I promise you, this one is worth using. Of course, they all just do the same thing. It just gives you a little bit more precision. And of course, this actually helps out with that bullet velocity at range and helps out with the aiming down sight speed. For the underbarrel attachment I'm using is the Canton Stubby. As I said before, with all the other attachments, I like to go over to see which one helps out a lot with your aiming down sight speed, your recoil control, and don't take away a lot of the point system here in the game. But the Canton Stubby is going to be your best choice because it gives you a lot of control. Their precision is not crazy, but of course it helps out with your aiming down sight speed as well. So if you always want to know what is the best underbarrel for this one, the Canton Stubby is the best choice for you as of right now. For the magazine attachment I'm using is the 36 round because, as I said before, you gotta worry about your point system here in the game. And I do think they should try to lower the cost a lot for these attachments. I don't think you should need, it's like 55 points for a 60 round mag or 45. Like, it's not worth just to have these point system high if you can't use any of these big attachments for the weapon. For the scope attachment I'm using is the Mini Flex. If you actually want to bump this up to maybe it's like a 2-time or any of the other scope attachments, that's all up to you guys, but the Mini Flex is going to be my go-to. And of course, for my final attachment for the ammunition, I'm going to be using the polymer case for a help out with your aiming down sight speed and movement as well. Our fifth and final weapon we have is the SCW. Now, this is another weapon just like the KV9, which has a little magazine. Damage profile is actually pretty good. Now, this is more of like your up close range type of build, and you guys can see, gun kill fast. Like, it kills fast. It has an 800 rate of fire. Damage is actually pretty good on it. So let's dive right into the last setup for it. And just to go over the magazine attachment for this weapon, now you guys, as you can see, it has a 25 round for this one, which is the biggest one. But of course, it costs 45 points for this one. So the best ammo choice I would recommend for you is, of course, it's a 20 rounds for this one. Now, I don't feel like I run out of ammo faster with this one than it is the KV9, because the KV9 has 1,000 rate of fire and you run out of ammo quick. You can probably maybe only get like a double kill with that weapon, but for this one, you can obviously get like a double or even sometimes a triple kill. It always depends on who you have in action. For your ergonomic, I'm using is the improved back catch, which actually helps out with the reload speed. For the sight, I'm actually using is the Mini Flex for an SMG. I would highly recommend for this one. For the suppressor attachment, for the muzzle I'm using is the standard suppressor. Like I said, you always have to worry about your point system here in the game. I do have the CQB unlocked, but I feel like the standard one is going to be the best choice to try to help out with that point system. For the barrel attachment I'm using is the extended one for the 200mm custom, which actually helps out with the projectile at range and helps out with your aiming down sight speed as well. For the underbarrel attachment I'm using is the 6H64 vertical, which actually reduces a lot of your recoil control, but it causes you a lot of your movement while aiming down sight. It does not take away any of your aiming down sight speed, but just your aiming down movement is what's the penalty about this one. And for our final attachment for my ammunition I'm using is the FMJ. And these are the top 5 fastest time to kill weapons to use right now in Battlefield 6. Let me know in the comment section below if any of these weapons got you your most kills in either Battlefield 6 or just in Redsec. And I hope you guys do enjoy the rest of your day.